Are you aware of any written criteria that PSLC members are required to adhere to when determining when and whether to send a bar to a due process hearing?
I'm not familiar with that criteria at all.
Okay. Are you familiar with any written criteria or guideline that PSLC members are required to adhere to for whether and when to recommend revocation of a bar's license?
I'm not familiar with any of the criteria that they're supposed to follow.
Thank you. And I'm just going to ask the question just so it's clear on the record, and I know what your answer is going to be, but bear with me. Are you familiar with any written criteria or guidelines that PSLC members are required to adhere to when determining whether to recommend non-renewal of a bar's liquor license?
I'm not familiar with the criteria.
Do PSLC members receive training for how to handle liquor licensing matters?
I don't know. I've never sat on that committee.
Okay. Well, wouldn't you be familiar with whether or not one of your committees, one of your standing committees, has a training program designed to educate members of the committee on how to exercise their authority?
All I know is that Janice Johnson works with the committee. I don't know the criteria or the training that they go through when they become committee members. I've never sat on that committee.
Okay. So fair to say you don't know whether PSLC committee members are trained in how to handle liquor licensing matters, correct?
I do not. I'm not aware.
Okay. Has anyone ever told you that PSLC members receive training on how to handle liquor licensing matters?
No one's ever told that to me that I know of.
Okay. And has anyone ever told you that PSLC members are required to follow written criteria or guidelines in handling liquor licensing matters?
No one's ever told me that I know of.
So since no one's ever informed you of any written criteria or training program for PSLC members to follow when handling liquor licensing matters, a reasonable inference would be that no such criteria or training exists. Do you agree?
This states the record foundation.
No, it just means that I'm not familiar with any.
Why wouldn't you be familiar with the training program on one of your standing committees?
Objection asked and answered. He's ready. You asked him that and he's answered that.
I did.
You did.
I don't remember. What was the answer?
I allow my departments and my department heads to do their jobs.
So once you defer something, your hands off?
Objection. Vague.
Once you delegate something to a department head, your hands off? Do you let it go?
Objection to the form. Overly broad. Go ahead.
I expect my department heads to do their jobs, and once they have the authority to do that, I expect they'll do it.
Okay. And what, if anything, do you do to carefully evaluate their performance?
I talk with them on a regular basis about what they're doing, how they're performing, what's happening inside their departments. But